Abml stock, American Battery Metals Corp. It closed the session of the 11th of August 2021 at $1.63, an extension of 2.52%, a volume of approximately 989,000 shares crossed the tape during that session. We have a position in American Battery Metals, so it's important that we point out to you. Market cap has dropped from about 1 billion to $933.6 million, 572.75 million shares outstanding. So we're seeing is that the trend at the moment seems to be quite a bearish one, especially since May or thereabouts. Since May, it's been on a downward trend. So I would say in the intermediate, yes, the trend is a bearish one, but obviously the longer term trend line is a bullish one, thanks to the gaps and the spikes that happened earlier in the year, and also at the end of last year, 2020. Yes. Interestingly, also since that time, the stock never really traded below its 200-day moving average. Only recently, the first time that happened was on the 30th of August. Sorry, 30th of July. That was when that happened, and probably that was why we probably got this slight extension. But it's got some resistance at the point where the 200-day moving average was also crossing. That was the $1.69 level. So you got some resistance there, and has since continued to pull back, only to just inch up slightly again. So I think yes, because when we are not involved in American Battery Metals and indeed some of these other stocks, the machines may be, or indeed other regular market participants, and they're reading into what's going in these stocks. They are seeing these retracements. It's quite scary, and unfortunately, some of them are much more tidy, and they're not filled with gaps. Even though we can see some gaps here, these are probably a lot of short selling would definitely be involved here. We see these retracements, see the sharp one. There's a good chance that a lot of short selling may have been involved. So I think all in all, it's a mix of things, but I think all it definitely points to is a mix of consolidation and bearishness in the intermediate period. In the last probably last 100 sessions, it's been a mix of bearishness and consolidation. So it doesn't have a very clear direction, but at the same time, this is also the time a lot of machines and indeed market participants pick up positions in the stock. When the volatility is not that high, things are a lot quiet. The spread between the ask and the bid is not that high. Yes, the spread between the ask and the bid is not that high, so they can indeed it also involves huge finance houses. They may begin to pick up positions because things are not that volatile. So these are the sort of times those sort of things may be occurring. So all in all, we can read from the readout here that it appears to be consolidating within a longer term uptrend, although the ADX, or the average directional index, is below 20, indicating shares have exhibited sideways movement recently. Both the 200 and the 10-day moving averages are rising, which implies that the overall trend is higher. Okay, but it's lagging the S&P 500. Momentum for Abml stock is strongly bearish. The 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is falling as investors sell shares and drive the price lower. The volume for that session was lighter than usual, trading 989,400 shares versus an average of 6.028 million shares per day during the last 12 months. The unbalanced volume indicator is bearish. The slope of that indicator is negative and suggests that there is a lack of buying interest. So the momentum indicator and the volume indicator are in unison. They are saying that there is a lack of buying interest, even though the readout is still indicating of indeed the underlying trend. The longer term trend is a bullish one. So that is a mix of things. It just sums up everything. For now, things are getting quiet, but the overall long-term trend is a bullish one. So even though in the intermediate it's a mix of consolidation and bearishness, so I think all it gives rise to is the broader picture, which is that the trend is still a very bullish one. So if you think that at this time of consolidation and quietness, that it's a good time to get involved and improve or even initiate positions, yes, think about it and decide if it's what you're going to do. Yes, for us I think so. It's a good time to put in an extra an extra amount of money, not a lot, and keep moving on from there. So you decide what it's going to be. We also saw that based on the figure from naked short report as at the 10th of August, the short volumes have not really been they are obviously there. 27.98% is something, 25.88, but we in comparison to other stocks, we have seen figures higher than that. Maybe that's maybe there isn't as much skepticism towards Abml. This could just be the regular scalping any stock may have, but all in all, I think the skepticism is not that high. Maybe that is why we're not seeing that much volatility as it concerns Abml of late. Let's see what the volatility figure is saying down here. You can see it's only at 190.96%. We see 500% for other penny stocks. So yeah, it's just a summary that yes, in the very short term, things are very much quiet for American battery metals. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video.